Welcome everybody to Croatia in Croatia, just down the road from Split. And I'm just getting on the bike now. Had a great night out last night with the Bridgestone crew and all the other UK boys. So funny. I haven't laughed so much in such a long time. Anyway, it was really good. So today I'm going to nip over the mountain and head into Bosnia, Herzegovina, and see where we get to later on. I've just watched the World Superbike Superpole, and it's time to crack on. So let us crack. I've pre-plumbed a route because the internet, you don't get free internet in Bosnia for some reason. So yeah, sorry if the video ended a bit abruptly yesterday. I was at that toll booth having a nice chat with that fella, and as I exited I thought I'd be a bit of a dick and show off, and lofted a fatty, and the Croatian police were just to the right. I don't know if it was, I haven't checked the video, I don't know if you could see it on there. So then I instantly pooed my pants and got stuck at a traffic light, just in fear that I was going to get rodded. So I whipped the camera off and hid it, just in case. But they didn't come and everything was fine. So just jumping back to the mushroom psilocybin thing that I did. Another interesting byproduct of that is I used to get really bad anxiety, fear, horrible hangovers, which I don't seem to get anymore, touch wood. I feel like a normal, this is like a normal, I wouldn't say hangover, we had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 drinks and it's already midday. But I was in bed by 12 to be fair, so it wasn't too bad. But even in that scenario, in the past, I'd wake up with just the worst fears, the worst horrible brain activity, and that's gone. It's gone. It's just a normal. I understand why people drink now, because this is just how people normally feel after they drink. What's that horrible stuff there? Slippery. So that's good news. Right, so 3 hours. So it should be, I think it's about 3 hours to the first stop. And last time I went to Bosnia, I went south to Mostar and Sarajevo. But this time, I'm going to cut through the north and make it up to, maybe go all the way through today. I don't know, I'll see how I feel. But that's generally the plan. Maybe make it through to, back into Croatia again after we cut the corner. How much fuel have we got? Loads of fuel. We're good, feel good to go. So let's do it. Right, well I'll see you in a bit when we get to the good roads. I'm just going to blast it down this bit and then get up to the nice pass. It should be a nice wiggly pass over the mountain to the border. So let's see. Alright boys and lady, bye. Just thought I'd show you this view. That's where we stayed last night. Very nice little town. Trigger. And this is what's called living the dream. Oh yeah, I haven't said. So that's all the launches done now, and I'm just going to wind my way home. Look at that! Come on, everybody! Come on, everyone! Get it? So I'm just going to wind my way home, the long way home, and there's no commitments on the way now. So let's see where we get to. Beautiful. The rough planned route, I think, will be whip through Bosnia today. Maybe I'll stay tonight, I don't know. But I'll probably get back into Croatia, see how I feel. And check the weather. This whole trip really, I've just been sort of going where the bad weather isn't. That's nice, isn't it? And maybe go back to Slovenia tonight. I don't know. Maybe that's too long way to go. I do like making progress though. I don't really like just, if I only did 200 kilometers in a day, I'd be like, ugh. Be very careful out here, by the way. This white surface, it can be super grippy, but it can also be super slippery. So if you do come out this way, be tentative. Like, make sure you assess the grip levels before you start sending it. Me and my bestie. Right, see you in a bit, bye. This is absolutely beautiful country here. And it still feels wild. Just sort of winding our way up. I don't know how far away the border is. This is still definitely Croatia, but I'm just really enjoying. I've done my dangerous riding competitions on all the launches, and now I'm just drifting through this lovely landscape with a light heart, I think is probably the best way of describing it. No rush, it's all good in Dash Hood. I mean, the road surface is exciting, let's put it that way. I'm a little apprehensive actually, because I loved Bosnia so much last time I went there. And I don't know whether that was just because I got to the point of the trip where I was having a bit of an emotional breakdown, and it sort of, I got it out and I felt better from that point. So I don't know whether it was something to do with that. Anyway, I loved Bosnia, and it's almost like if I go back now, I hope I'd love it again. Yeah, thinking back, I was not in a good place. And I think you guys saw that, but that's the reason I'm doing, it's not the reason I'm doing it. I think it's important to show that it's not all, hey guys, follow me with my brand new thing as I go and show off something, and isn't life brilliant, and aren't I fantastic? It's not like that for a lot of people, and I think it's a really important thing to show. I had an interesting thought the other day actually, and this goes back to like SSRIs and all of that, all of those pills and blockers and things that people are on. And this isn't a definitive theory, this is just, let's have a discussion about it. And it occurred to me, I wonder if life, you're issued like a certain amount of things that you need to deal with. Like every thought, bad or good, you've almost got it in the locker, right? And that's going to come down at some point, and you need to go through that, and it needs to come out. Because I remember when I was on SSRIs, which is like a common antidepressant. In fact, I think it's something horrible, like 1 in 5 people in the UK are on these things. And that's great if they work for you, and I know many people who they do work for, and that's fantastic. But I found that, and I've explained this before, that rather than, yes, you don't get the crushing lows, but you also don't really get the highs either. So that heartbeat monitor, the curve, it's like a dyno graph that's got smoothing on high. You don't really get, you just get numb. You just get a bit more, you just sort of get through life. And I think medication is good if you have gone through like a traumatic thing, then absolutely speak to your doctor, and maybe you can get something that might help you for the next 6 months. But I don't think any of these things are really designed, well, they are designed by the pharmaceutical industry to keep you on them for life, but I don't think, for me, it felt like they're a temporary measure, because you've still got to deal with whatever trauma needs to come out. And this coming out sort of mentality, it's like every thought or every emotion you have has to come out through you at some point. This is not what I'm thinking about. Everything has to come through you at some point. And if you're on something that's blocking that, or if you're blocking it yourself with the way you handle your life, and you don't face things and go, it's still got to come out. So it's like a well, like a reservoir, and it's up there, and all of that water has to come through you at some point. But when you're blocking it all off, it gets to a point where the reservoir just fills up to such a level that it explodes in a catastrophic way, and there's big floods and a disaster. So you have to mitigate, you have to unlock the dam and let some of that emotion come out of you, I think. And it felt like when I came off those SSRIs, I was very emotional, but it kind of felt good. It was just like, it almost like, yeah, come on, just let it happen. And if you do, and it's not it's not gay to have a little cry, just it feels good because you're emotionally letting go of something. So it was just an interesting thought that all the thoughts and emotions you have need to come out at some point, so you might as well let them out now and face the problems that you're having. That's how I try to deal with things now, is go, okay, this issue is occurring in my life, rather than blocking it out and forgetting about it. Like, I try to go, well, what am I going to learn now? How do I get through it? What's this lesson going to be? So yeah, something else I was going to say as well. What was it? Oh yeah, I also had another thought. And if you let's just assume, let's just all just for a second. I know people have their absolute opinions on the world and life and atheism, gods, whether things exist, heaven, hell, whatever, blah blah blah. But let's just imagine. I do think that there is something else to this life. What that is, I don't know, but I'm enjoying the journey, investigating it, and that's what we should all be talking about, or that's what we should be at least comfortable having conversations about. And if you imagine, it's a video game kind of thing, it's like a game, life. And if a wizard came to me and said that you can have a couple of choices of life, like I think you choose your own life before you start it, right? I'm just going to put that out there now. So if a wizard came to you and said that you can have this life here, it's a okay life, you know, you're going to have an okay job, you'll have a couple of okay experiences, you'll have an okay house, family, it's all fine, okay, it's all okay, but you're never really going to achieve anything in terms of grandeur. It's like playing the game on easy, yeah? Or you can have this other life, which is gonna have its struggles. It's not easy, it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna have things that you need to deal with, and there is suffering and pain. But there's a chance that you could be spectacular and you could win on hard. I choose the hard one. I choose to play the game in hard. So now when hard stuff happens, I kind of go to myself, well, I chose the hard. I chose it to play it on hard. Here we go, it's hard. And that thought gives me comfort. So whether you believe it's true, not true, the world is predetermined, fate, blah blah blah, all of that stuff, it doesn't really matter, because the result is, for me anyway, whether it's true or not, my life is still better for believing and having faith that that is the way things are. So to me, it's a win-win. Right, I'm going to go and smoke a bong. I just find it so fascinating, and I love having conversations. I wish we had more conversations about this stuff. I love it. Anyway, bye. Now this is a better road surface. Oh, joy! I promise I'll clean the windscreen soon. Sorry. It's actually a bit nippy up here. I've got a full vented jacket. Lovely. Lovely stuff. T32's going well. The Gradina Bridge. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture. It's the Rosas. That's a good time. At least I didn't go around the corner and pull a bloody minger. Look at this. It's beautiful. Fucking fuel cap won't open. Fucking keyless start. What's wrong with a key? Just put a key in it and open it. Fuck's sake. Brilliant. Obviously it won't work when it's on. Turn it off. Nothing. Let's try and start it. Put it in gear. Go forward. Stop it. Turn it off. Put it in neutral. Turn it off. Oh, finally. Stupid fucking thing. Honestly. How much is petrol here? 171. It's quite expensive actually. I'm going to PP. You can't buy an PP? Yeah, I'm just going to fill up now. I don't need a lot at all, but I think I'm going to go all the way through Bosnia today, because I need to get to Slovakia That's, in fact, I do need to get to Slovakia, to Bratislava, to see my mate John. Come on. And then we'll fill up with some water and snacks as well. Okay, bye. This is the town of Knin. As we are about, I think we're about 30k from the Bosnian border, maybe not even that. You can certainly still see the effects of the problems in this area in the 90s, and it's quite humbling. And then on the side of the road there's lots of crosses and graveyards, but it does feel very Soviet, which I suppose is what Yugoslavia was, really, wasn't it? I think, I don't know, I'm not a history expert. I try to have a little understanding, but I think you could spend your entire life studying that conflict and still probably would have things to learn at the end of it. But it's lovely, it's pleasant, yeah, it's nice. It's not Monaco, but the people here are nicer than in bloody Monaco. You can still see bullet holes in the walls and almost like track a automatic weapon into a window. It's wild. It was on the news the other day. A tourist family went hiking in the hills, and there's still landmines that are active in this area and haven't been cleared. And sadly, they died. I mean, landmines, what a bastard of a weapon. What a cowardly mines. It's such a cowardly thing to put in the ground. Human beings will seem to be perpetually engaged in war, but it all comes down to money and religion, and ultimately that is power. Money is power and religion is power. Any other form of power, that's what the psychopaths want at the top. Power. And they'll use money and religion to get what they want. Stark reminders indeed. So this is the road up from Knin to Strimika. That's where I've chosen to cross. And I just look at Google, the map, and go, that's a wiggly road, that looks fun. There's no other method to it other than that. Roughly in the right direction and wiggly. The surface isn't incredible, but I'm not on a superbike, so it doesn't matter. It feels more raw anyway. Okay, this feels quite wild up here. There's signs for like warthogs, wild pigs, and all sorts of things. I think at the top of this pass is the border. Strimica, fucking hell, watch where you're going, Chrissy. A few raindrops. But the sat-nav map looks wild. And it's quiet out here. There's very, very few cars or traffic or anyone. Ah, this is the border here, I guess. Perhaps. Passport job. Hello? Helmet? Off? Let me stop this. Do you need the document? Thank you very much. See you.